6th grade, he's in middle school now. He comes home, he comes off the school bus, bounds upstairs into my home office. Dad, you have to teach me the memory stuff. All right, well, we can do it like this weekend or something. No, you have to teach it to me now. I'm like, why? We have a huge test tomorrow in social studies. We have to know the names of like 50 Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. The test is tomorrow. You have to help me. I said, Jason, when did you find out about this test? He goes, that's not important. 2 days ago, 2 days before. Now, part of my brain says, because this is not the first time this has happened. Part of my brain says, sorry, bucko, you made your bed, now you have to lie in it. The other part of me is the compassionate, loving parent. It says, I can actually help him with this. So I said, we'll do it. We'll sit down. Now, here's the problem with Greek and Roman gods and goddesses remembering their names. They have ancient Greek, they're not named like, Barbara and Susan. They have ancient, so for example, who can tell me the name of the Greek god, the male, the Greek god of wine? Oh my God, do you know how often people I get nothing. I get crickets, I get Bueller, I get nothing. I like everybody, Dionysus, right? Now, how do you remember a name like Dionysus? Well, you drink a lot of wine, yes. This is your interim executive director right here, ladies and gentlemen. I told Jason, I want you to imagine Dionysus. He's in ancient Greece. He's walking around, he's wearing like a toga. Jason says, like an Animal House? 6th grade, yeah, like an Animal House. He's got a flask of wine. He's like staggering through ancient Greece. He's pissed drunk, goes home, drops dead, and lands on his sister. Die on his sis. Dionysus. And Jason looks at me with pure, disdainful acid in his eyes and goes, Dad, that is without a doubt the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say in the 12 long years I've known you. I said, all right, we'll do it again next year. He goes, no, I'm dyslexic. I said stupid. I meant smart. It's the smartest thing you've ever said. And so I ask you now, a lot of you knew it. For those of you who didn't, the name of the Greek god of wine is what? Dionysus. If I ask you later in my breakout session, in the middle of nowhere, like you're all calling out numbers, I go, Greek god of wine, you will all answer me confidently, what? Dionysus. Who is the Roman god of wine? Bacchus. I love this. This is the only time anybody ever gets these right. I had one session. Who's the Greek god of this? Who's the Greek? The guy's nailing them all. Saying, you know all the Greek gods. It's because I'm Greek. His name was like Constantine Constantinopoulos or something. I said, what about the Roman gods? I don't know the Roman gods. The Greek ones are better. So, Bacchus. So how do we remember Bacchus? Okay, remember Dionysus on his sister? Boom. She says, get off me, you dead drunken fool, and rolls him over onto his Gus. And Jason looks at me again. He goes, Dad? Yeah? Nothing. Keep going. So we continue. Who is the Greek god of love? Eros. Yeah, that. Okay, who's the Roman god of love? Cupid. It's Cupid. And however many people answered, is that many more people that have ever gotten it right, ever. Nobody gets that one. Okay, who is the Greek goddess of love? Aphrodite. So how do we remember Aphrodite? Well, if you look, you think about pictures and statues, she's beautiful, classical Western European features, flowing gossamer hair, like the arms are chopped off or something. Not if you want to remember her. If you want to remember her, Aphrodite has a great big old what? Afro. She's Aphrodite. And if you remember, from the 1970s, there was a show about an African-American private detective on ABC called Get Christy Love. Remember that? Get Christy Love! Remember that show? It lasted like one season. And she had this big afro. So she's Aphrodite. That's how you remember. She's the goddess of love, right? Now, if you braid the hair and put beads in it, what was that style? What famous tennis player wore that? Venus, because Venus is the Roman goddess of love. And we're going through these again. Who is the Greek god of the moon? Of the moon? Artemis. So how do you teach them Artemis? I mean, we all watched the show featuring a character called Artemis Gordon. What was that show? Wild Wild West. Awesome show, right? Well, that show, for some reason, isn't in reruns. And the horrible movie with Kevin Kline and Will Smith hadn't come out yet. So I'm thinking, how do I get him to remember Artemis? I said, do you see that painting on the wall? He goes, yeah. I said, that work of art? You throw it at the moon. Does it hit the moon? It misses. Art, miss. Goes right past the moon and smacks in the head what dead British princess? Diana, because Diana is the Roman goddess of the moon. And we're going through these one after the next, and finally, he's getting a little squirrely about this because I'm throwing a lot at him. And finally, his eyes come into steely focus, and he says, Dad, I think I'm getting this. Can I try one? Yes, he can try one. His associations will be better than mine, because why? They're his. He created them. So which one are we doing, Jason? He said, the Greek messenger god. I go to the list, I look it up. It's Hermes. Hermes, like the scarf. So great. I said, okay, Jason, what's your technique? He goes, okay, work with me on this, Dad. He's the Greek messenger god. He's like the FedEx guy, right? The UPS guy. He goes from town to town delivering messages. He says, Dad, what if he's a player, though, and he's got a different girl in each city? He might get a bad case of? He's in 6th grade. Part of me is saying, you're in 6th grade, why do you know about herpes? Part of me is saying, good, you're in 6th grade, it's not too early to know about herpes. And if you saw him now, he's like 6'1", and he's incredibly good looking. Yeah, I know, we're trying to figure out who the father was too. She's looking at me like, really? All the science teachers, yeah, you missed the unit on genetics there, Ron, you better look at that a little bit. Actually, Uncle Lou is pretty tall now that I think about it. That could be a problem. So we're going through all of these, and you could see his head is like a pressure cooker. It's about to blow steam out of his ears. And he looks at me, and he gets this just forlorn look in his eye, and he goes, I'm screwed, aren't I? And I said, well, all right, Jason, it would have been better if you had started studying this, 2 days ago, maybe, or before that. But I told him the same thing I told you when we worked the list backwards. I said, don't panic. Don't go thrashing about. It's like if you go and you're having trouble staying afloat in the water, the more you thrash about, the more tired you get. I said, just trust that when you hold out your hand, your brain will put the answer into it for you. I said, you have no other choice. It's tomorrow. So, goes to school. I'm not traveling that day. I'm there. I hear the school bus pull up. I go greet him at the door. Hey, Jason. Hi. How you doing? Okay. How's school today? Fine. Anything happen? Nope. Did you have any tests today? Yep. How did you do on the Greek gods and goddesses test? He goes, Dad, I was the first one done. I'm like, oh God. This is not going to be good. So I'm up in my office working. Phone rings. I pick it up. Hello? Is this Jason's dad? Yes. This is Laura Didarian. I'm Jason's social studies teacher. I know, we've had like 3 conferences with you already. It's true. She said, we had this gods and goddesses test today? Yes, it counts 20% of their grade. I know, I'm sitting down. Please tell me what you called to tell me. I said, Jason got a 96. She said the next highest grade anyone got in the entire grade was 72. She said, I looked up his sleeves. Nothing there. I said, Mr. Darian, 96, he missed what, one or two wrong? He says, he got 1 wrong. I said, which one was that? She said, the Greek messenger god. She said he missed it by 1 letter.